So today teaching about patient of voluntarily accepting pain and suffering. So that is the topic. Patient of voluntarily accepting pain and suffering. So we have first 5 points. So number 1 point is because of we are talking about these contaminant actions. Contaminant actions is the nature of suffering. So contaminant actions will bring you some kind of temporary pleasure, but ultimately it is the nature of pain and suffering. Therefore, number 1 is the nature of contamination is ultimately pain and suffering. Number 2 point is contemplating the benefit of pain, benefit of meditating on the suffering we are talking about. And number 3 is what we need to meditate. It sounds like stretch, but but generally speaking, without realization of the subtle suffering, we will not achieve general realization. Therefore, what we need is number 3. We are talking about if you are familiar to the object, we can change anything possible. If you are used to be on the object, if you are not used to be on the object, even simple things very difficult. If you are very familiar on the object and contemplating and meditating, it is possible we will be able to change. And number 4 is we need, because when we talk about the cause of pain and suffering, it comes to the afflictive emotions. So therefore, we have to know how to eliminate these afflictive emotions. And number 5th is explanation of the meditating on these contemplating on the suffering. So these are the 5 topics. So these topics will go with the original text by Shantideva. So number 1 here, verse 12, page 55. The cause of happiness sometimes occur, but the cause for suffering are frequent. Without suffering, there is no renunciation. Therefore, mind, you should stand firm. So that is the number 1. We are talking about, Buddha said, all the contaminant actions of the nature of suffering. When we talk about contaminant actions, we are talking about suffering and suffering of change. So there are 3 different types of suffering. We are suffering of change, and suffering of conditioning or pervasiveness. So this here Shantideva was talking about the samsara is created by the delusion and karma. So we will receive kind of happiness, but that happiness is not ultimate happiness. Deep down, it is covered by this very afflictive emotions, what we call ignorance, fundamental ignorance. Fundamental ignorance means we are not seeing the actual reality of any phenomena which appears to our mind. So, for example, like when anger arises or when any kind of delusion arises, we we are not seeing the nature of the afflictive emotions. We are just seeing the appearance of the afflictive emotions. And with our mind, when object appears, mind automatically 95% follow the appearance of the object. Therefore, very difficult to see the reality. So here, what Shantideva was talking about there, the cause of happiness, sometimes we receive more pain than happiness. Me too, what, since we are born, so how much suffering and pain, But he is talking about we can make this pain and suffering meaningful. It is something we can transform into the spiritual practice. Then even you suffer, it became the cause of renunciation. It became the cause of your enlightenment in the future. It will help you to open your mind. So making your mind, how can I say, kind of like skillful. You skillful. So because Shantideva said, remember previously we had this one. Why be unhappy about something if it can be remedied? Right? And what is the use of being unhappy about something if it cannot be remedied? So when we receive pain, of course if there's a way, we can use the remedy. We can use any our skill to overcome from this any kind of pain and suffering. But if there is no remedy, and then you are like empty space, thinking, then of course if there is remedy, we should apply whatever we can and try to overcome from pain and suffering. But if there is no remedy, then Shantideva said it's like empty space. But actually, no remedy, and you thinking is cause you more mental torture your mind, therefore useless. And so that's what he's talking about now. That now we need a skillful mind to think about the pain and suffering. So it means our ultimate goal is renunciation. Our ultimate goal is, from Buddhist perspective, enlightened beings, renunciation. So whenever we receive some pain and suffering, if we have skillful mind, we will be able to accept the pain and suffering because of our goal is renunciation. So to achieve that goal, we need some kind of sacrificing and hardship, and not be discouraged. But looking often, there is an expression in Tibet: if we failed 9 times, we can't give up. An expression in Tibet. If you fail doesn't matter, keep going. Kind of like that kind of determination, and eventually your mind become more familiar. Something familiar, we can change any difficulties. If you are not familiar, then even things simple, they will not difficult for us. So all depends on the mind. When we are familiar with difficulties, we will people who speak Canada. And those people endure the pain and cut and burn for no reason, then for the sake of liberation. Why I have no courage? So the people, they believe, some people believe if you burn your finger, you, they burn all the 5 fingers with the fire. So they believe they will achieve liberation. Sometimes they big fire and they sit inside the fire, like that. Because they are believing liberation. They will accept this pain and suffering because they believe if you sacrifice you will achieve liberation. Something like that. So this kind of giving you some kind of example, people sacrifice in the in India, like some say when you sit on the snow with a naked, you will not be reborn in the cold hell realm. If you burn your finger, this will liberate. You will not be born in a hot realm. So they believe like that. Then people burn the finger. They accept this kind of pain and suffering. So similarly, we are talking about now renunciation. So we also need sacrificing our body and mind, because we have to do kind of like preliminary practice, purification. At the same time, we need achievement and merit together, purifying the mind. At the same time, achievement and merit. Eventually, we will see and achieve our accomplishment realization. So he was saying we need, whenever difficult, we should not give up. There are 2 points. We may lose the Dharma. Sometimes when you are having very difficulties, when you encounter with the difficulties, you may say, "Oh, Dharma is not working. How can it be possible?" And then you say, "Oh, what is the point of me doing prayers? What is the point of me reciting mantras? Because I'm encountering lots of pain and suffering." And then during that period, many people give the Dharma. Oh, Dharma, no. There are 2 major obstacles. One is another can be we give Dharma when everything goes smooth to you. Maybe everything is very fine, smooth, and making your life more comfortable. Maybe you lose the Dharma sometimes. Oh, I don't need Dharma, because something like that. So these are the 2 major obstacles. So it comes to our mind, very often, So therefore, Shantideva said, we have to be very careful, skillful, and so this is a kind of like, this practice is kind of like gradual, and we have to go by step, one by one. It's very important, and something very difficult, you should not give up. Something difficult, you can put this in the future. I will not right now. It's not suitable, but I will not give up. I will put this in the future, and whatever you can, you keep going this kind of practice. So there's this is Shantideva was talking about this. There is nothing whatsoever that is not made easier through acquaintance. So through becoming acquainted with small harm, I should learn to patiently accept great harm. So we have to go, like if you are practicing generosity, you have to go one by one. First give small things, food, and then gradually, whatever you generously do, anything. So first we accept small pain and suffering. Then practicing this day by day, week by week, then eventually extend to the more pain and suffering, looking from the liberation perspective. So this is if we are familiar, we will anything can be changed. Who has not seen this to be so with trifling suffering, so as the bites of snake and insect, feeling of hunger and thirst, and with such minor things as rashes. I should not be impatient with heat and cold, wind and rain, sickness, bondage, and beating. Oh, if I am, the harm they cause me will increase. Some, when they see their own blood, become especially brave, steady. But some, when they see the blood of others, faint and fail unconscious. Same, right? Some people, when they see the blood, they are very courageous. Instead of, losing their mind become more courageous. Some lose because of its mind, your mind. The people have hurt and then blood from their thing. This is the sign of my kind of like my ornament, like scar or whatever I have. This is how I did this. So they have courage instead of losing their mind, increase their determination. Some people when see the blood maybe unconscious. So this is kind of like people have different mental attitudes. Some are used to be, some are not used to be. So it means here this Shantideva was saying that we should be when we practice the patient of voluntarily accept suffering and pain, will see and will give you what is real renunciation, renouncing. And then this will also give you to cultivate patience. So because you will discriminate between hatred, anger, and the advantage of practicing the patience. So you have this kind of wisdom. So it's not like blind faith. Through your analytical meditation, you open your mind and you're looking from the ultimate reality, not conventional reality. Conventional reality is reality for everybody, conventional. So when we discriminate, then we will realize the result of anger. Indian master Chandakirti said in his middle way of entrance. So where he said he summarized this hatred and anger, and his stanza in the middle way. He said, anger result is an ugly appearance, lead to low actions. Steal away your knowledge of right and wrong, and impatient quickly hurls or throw you to a better rebirth. Patient explained as the opposite. It brings all good qualities. So he may summarize. So that when mind, when somebody became angry, so Chandakirti said, when the person mind is dominated by anger. Appearance is totally transformed into the negative. The way he speaks, the way he feels, the way he acts, completely transformed into the negative. So appearance, and even this person, professional person can wear beautiful ornament, but it looks not attractive. Ornament, you are wearing beautiful ornament, but you are unattractive. The ornament is not suitable for you. Kind of like if you are normal, like people, we are normal, and if you wear some kind of ornament, make you more attractive, right? When the person is totally transformed into negative anger, even you wear this ornament is not attractive. So this kind of still owe your knowledge. So we are talking about knowledge is destroying your right attitude and bringing more wrong attitude. So it means like remember previously we are talking about destruction of the merit, right? Destruction of the merit. So we create so much karma, right? We create so much virtuous and non-virtuous karma. We create this morning till now, we create so many different types of karma. So what happens is so we have many karmic seeds and potential planted from this morning till now, we cannot calculate for yesterday or whatever. Today we plant many karmic seeds. But it is said that Lama Tsongkhapa said, when we are dying, right, only one karma can throw into the rebirth. No matter how much karma we created, but one karma will throw you into the rebirth. So that karma depends on if the karma is, which is more heaviest weapon, that will throw you into the next rebirth. If the virtuous karma is heavy, you will next rebirth thrown by the virtuous karma. If the non-virtuous heavy, non-virtuous will thrown into. So all this karma is remain potential, not destroyed. Okay, one karma will thrown into the next rebirth. Other karma, because this karma is so powerful, and making other karmics are powerless, suppress. Does not mean destroy all this karma. You will carry this karma. But so if the karma more heaviest will thrown first, right? If these two equal, and which is more close will happen first. If this closeness is even, which is more familiar will happen first. If familiar is even, which you create first will happen first. So it means that, remember, last week we have discussion of anger destroy the marriage, right? Anger destroy the marriage. So this is very complicated, Only he said, Lama Tsongkhapa said, Buddha knows completely how much marriage destroyed. Only Buddha, omniscient mind will know how much anger will destroy the marriage. But generally speaking, like Indian master, like the Baba Viveka, very great Indian master. He gave one example, It's just like rice seed. Right? So the rice seed is primary main cause of rice, right? And sprout and harvesting are the result of rice. When the rice seed is damaged, no sprout, no harvest, right? So similarly, when we talk about the merit, destroy the merit, right? When we do these 4 confessions, purifications, right? Purification, sometimes we will destroy the main course. Sometimes we will destroy the Pacific course, like that, right? Sometimes, just like if the rice seed is damaged, no rice sprout, no harvesting. So if through your purification, if sometimes we can like that damage the primary course, not damage the course, not damage the result corresponding to the course, which is something like that, so there are some point we will destroy the main course, but not destroying the result corresponding to the similar course. Remember 3. When we talk about the karma, we will receive 3 results: ripening result, experience result, and fully ripened result. Right? For example, like healing, we will receive complete the karma, we will receive ripening result of the healing, experience result of the healing, and then similar result of the healing. If your past life healing, this life baby healing is natural. If past life compassion practicing, baby is compassion is natural. So these are results similar to the course, results similar to the experience, and fully ripened result. So that means, so at some point when we talk about the karmic seed will destroy the merit. So it is very important not saying destroy all merit. Sometimes we destroy the main merit. Sometimes we destroy the specific merit. So when we destroy the specific merit, we will carry all other merit. We will carry. So that's so some master said when we talk about the karmic seed will destroy the merit means it will making your merit lesser, less. If your collection of the merit huge, so this will lesser. So that will destroy. Some masters said destroying merit means just these because other preventing from the prevent from this negative, not necessarily completely destroy. So destroying merit can be like that. We will destroy the main cause, but not specific cause. Like if we talk about the precious human rebirth, right? So the main cause of precious human rebirth is moral ethic, right? So, right, moral ethic. And the main cause of wealth is giving charity. So these are the specific merit. So destroy merit means a different explanation. Some say destroy the main cause, not specific. Some destroy result corresponding result to lower, like just like that. The rice seed damage, no sprout, no harvest. So through purification, if you can sometimes completely purify, sometimes we can lessen or sometimes minimize the matter. So this is the Shandita Vatugu. Now here is the Buddha was born in the Brahmin family, and he married, and later he take the vows and became monk, and then also his wife also became nun, and they both stay in hermitage, right, meditation place. And the king of this in India very serious about this, checking whether these two are real practitioners or not. And then one time king said that if you two stay in this hermitage or the meditation camp, very dangerous, because somebody may kidnap your wife, told to the Brahman. So then he replied that I want to destroy the enemy, just like pouring rainfalls and settle down all the dust. And the king thought, he is not good practitioner, I want second test. So he sent another man to kidnap his Brahman's wife, or his ex-wife, or they become wife. And then the Brahman is sitting there, he's doing practice and meditation, and he didn't say any bad thing to this man. And then king said to him, you told me previous you want to destroy the enemy, but man comes to kidnap your, while he is enemy. You haven't done anything, Then he said, my word is true. I want to completely destroy the enemy, And then king, he's very surprised. What is real enemy, What do you mean? This man is not your enemy. Who is real your enemy? And then he said, real enemy is internal enemy. I want to share these stanzas with you. King, please listen to this stanza. So he, composed these stanzas in the sutra. So these stanzas are like here. The fire of anger, the fire of anger will disfigure your face. Even ornament cannot make it attractive. Although you lie down to sleep in a soft bed, the mind afflicted by anger is an anguish. You forget those who benefit you. Injured by the anger, you are led down a wrong path. You lose your reputation and you cannot accomplish your goals. Your wealth and glory wither like a waning moon. Out of anger you fall into a vast bias like abyss of acting badly even toward loving friends. You destroy your ability to see what is helpful or harmful, seeing them completely opposite. You make yourself more ignorant. Anger makes sinful actions habitual, so you suffer many hundreds of years in the lower end. What can you most vicious external enemy do other than destroying your flesh and bones? Anger is internal enemy. Understand that this is how it is. You can bear it is power increase. So he repeat these stanzas to the king, and the king was very, very surprised, and he realized that enemy is not external enemy, it is internal enemy. So when you subdue the internal enemy, no external enemy, right? When we talk about the enemy, ordinary people, we are talking about somebody, somebody who harm you, right? Somebody who, and we say, oh, this is my enemy, and we try to retaliate. We try to do something back, but he then King realized he had to meditate on the patient, right? So he had to subdue the internal enemy. So the external enemy can only destroy your body, but cannot send you into this war. We cannot external enemy. This is worse. Internal enemy will destroy firstly your peaceful mind, right? Second, around you, if your friends, relatives, and people don't want around within you because you are showing all anger all the time, angry to people don't want, surrounded with this person. So you lose your friends, right? And then you lose your all the good qualities, knowledge. People who are, some people very professional, very intelligent when they are dominated by anger, just like different person. So here Shantideva is saying that we should think about the result of anger, and meditating on the patient, what I mean? But not blind. We should use some wisdom, and whenever there's opportunity, then we have to be, be skillful, because if you're angry, it will destroy the merit. But not only merit, it will make you delay your future path. If you are going to receive path of accumulation, it will delay. If you are going to receive path of preparation, it will delay your future path. Not only so here Shantideva said we need to contemplate and distinguish between patient and okay, thank you. Any questions? I'm not busy tonight.
Can you ask, can anger be viewed as all phenomena as dependent arising and therefore only maintaining as long as the cause and condition are going to be stable for that thing to arise, same as all phenomena, and therefore your anger, like all those phenomena, when you analyse it immediately, you can see that it's arising only as a temporary phenomena?
Yeah, when we talk about when we talk of anger arise, so it means if you look the nature of the anger, then different. If you look anger itself, then is destructive emotions, right? Anger itself is destructive emotions. But if you look the nature of anger, then it is a different. Nature of anger is like anti of inherent existence. Anger arises because of cause and condition, not independent arising, right? So when you are looking at the nature of anger, then you realize anger is empty of inherent existence, just like empty space. Like so, you're not looking. Anger itself is destructive emotions, but the nature of anger is pure. It comes from the cause and condition. Therefore, it is dependent arising. No cause, no result. You know what I mean? So you plant the seed will ripen. So when you look, there's kind of like a duration, of the thoughts. Coming, stay a little while and disappear. So we will kind of like, our mind is thinking, oh, this is the time thought arising, this is the time thought remaining, this is the time thought departing. And then this will, generally speaking, block the mind, block our mind. Because remember, this our pristine nature of the mind is beginningless, endless. Right? No beginning, no end. Like we're making some kind of... So thought, emotions, often thought arise, right? Often when we are meditating, right? When we thinking, thought arise, right? Thought arise. And we are thinking, oh, meditation is creating more thoughts. Sometimes, well, it's not very good sign, many said. His Holiness said, very, very good sign. Because we are paying attention. Before we are not paying attention, we don't know. When we pay attention, more thought arise, it's very good sign for the beginning. We are paying attention and we know what's going inside the mind. We are not ignoring the mind. When we ignore the mind, we don't know what's going inside the mind. Then things like that. So it means that when we look the nature of the anger different, it's empty. It's empty of independent existence. It's like empty space. When we look anger itself, then we are looking from the itself is destructive emotion. Like its nature is empty of independent existence. Make sense or not? Okay, thank you.
Please. When somebody gets angry at you, they often expect you to acknowledge their anger with anger.
Expression of anger.
Yeah. So they're angry and then they kind of want you to be angry back.
Yeah.
If you're not angry back, sometimes can make them more angry. Because they're like one
expression
response,
is good. In Tibet we said when the conch shell is blocked, like conch shell is blocked, it blew up. Not keeping in the mind, Expression sometimes good, People keeping in the mind more pain. You know what I mean? You just expression like conch shell block, you blew up. Expression, good analogy in Tibet. When the conch shell is blocked, blew up. If you keep here, it will cause you pain. Sometimes expression is good, but not necessarily all the time. It depends on the circumstances. You know what I mean? I think so, right?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, you say.
No.
Yeah. Well,
So what I'm really saying is that even if you don't really want to get angry with them, right? If you walk away or you just try to make the situation more peaceful, then they're not satisfied. They want you to
then,
show anger.
all these are karma. If they're not satisfied, then what can you do? Right? I don't know all the answers. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Could you please speak more on how to make pain and suffering meaningful and how that relates to renunciation?
Renunciation. Without suffering, there are 5 benefits of suffering, okay? Pain, suffering, Shantideva said, no pain, no suffering, no renunciation, right? Like, if you have pain and suffering, maybe you will develop compassion for others. Like, when you have pain and suffering, you will not jealousy, because you are suffering, like that, right? Did you notice like that? If you have pain, no time to criticize the other, because you have so much pain, You can't say, oh, this is bad person like that, because you have so much pain. So we'll eliminate all this problem, right? And then have some compassion for others. So if this happened to other person like me, something like that, right? And no arrogant. When you're pain, you might go down, no arrogant. So these are benefit of the pain and suffering. But these are not easy. These are like highly realized Bodhisattva practitioner. Go by one. You have to go step by step. Not easy. we should not expect easy result. We have to do hard work, because like Buddha, hard work. His holiness working very hard. And we have sacrificed a little bit good for your future. You know what I mean? If you sacrifice, more purification. No sacrificing, not much purification. So like people doing hard work does not mean these people are suffering. You see some people doing prostration all the time, It's difficult, they're not suffering, but in the Buddha Gaya or you see many other people doing many Westerners too, really lots of people in Buddha Gaya, they have prostration boat, So you have to go very early. You will not get the boat. Too many people. You have to book your own prostration boat. So many people, they are not suffering, they're doing this voluntarily. Because they believe this is purification, So my point is the Shantidevas, when it will come next week, we will go more detail. Okay, thank you.